3 days to go. Hillary Clinton's lead in the polls is razor thin, though. Donald Trump is within the margin of error among likely voters in Fox News' four-way poll. Check it out. It's a different story for likely independent voters. There, Donald Trump leads by 8 points with 41%. Clinton is only at 33% in independents. Will the independent vote be the deciding factor in this election? Joining us right now is former presidential campaign advisor to Newt Gingrich and president of Spieckerman Media, Lee Spieckerman. Good to see you, Lee. Thanks so much for joining us. Also joining us is Democratic strategist Richard Goodstein. Richard, good to see you as well. Thank you, gentlemen.
Good morning, Maria.
Lee, kick us off here. What do you make about these latest polls?
Well, I think they are extremely auspicious for Donald Trump. I think Kevin would agree that the trend is your friend in the financial realm, and it certainly is when you're looking at political polling. We've seen a dramatic growth in the Fox News poll in just a week, about 5 points. And as you mentioned, the independents, I think that's the leading edge. And this morning, the LA Times USC poll, which was one of the three most accurate in 2012, showed a dramatic move for Donald Trump. He has now hit an all-time high in that poll of 48%, nearly a 6-point lead over Hillary Clinton. That is a big sample, a great poll. So I think we are seeing a really substantial movement. And basically, the Real Clear Politics average of polls of the Electoral College has Donald Trump basically 29 away from the 270. In other words, if he wins Florida, he wins the election.
Wow.
He can also do it with Pennsylvania and Colorado. And if you look at Pennsylvania, which everybody talks about is always out of reach for Republicans, the trend toward Trump looks like a hockey stick. It has gone up dramatically. It is the latest poll in Pennsylvania is a tie.
Yeah,
who would have believed that? Look at Michigan. I mean, it's just amazing.
Richard Goodstein, what about that? I mean, you have to be shocked to look at how close everything is at this point, right?
No, actually,
No?
but here's why. Look,
was it the FBI investigation, do you think, that pushed this over the edge for Donald Trump?
Well, actually, so there was a poll taken by Fox about independents before the Comey letter came out, and Trump was up 13 among independents. Today, 8. So somehow or other, that Comey letter didn't do it. Look, let me tell you one thing. 4 years ago, the political director for Mitt Romney was on Fox News Sunday, the Sunday before the election, and he said, as independents go in Ohio, so goes the state. We're going to win Ohio. We're going to win the nation. And you know what? Romney won independents by 10 in Ohio. He lost the state by 2. So, look, your viewers are pretty discerning, Maria.
Yeah.
They're not tuning in to get spin or BS. They want to get the straight scoop. The fact is, Hillary's ahead in all the polls. Florida, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Colorado, Virginia. If she wins most of those, she wins. And I always like it when I'm in a contest against somebody who is deluding themselves. That's what's happening here. She's she's ahead.
And by the way, Lee, the LA poll that you mentioned, people don't put as much credence into that one. So when you look at the Fox News polls, that's the accurate one.
Well, I think they're both accurate, and actually they're both showing the same trend. And as I said, the trend is key. And the only people that discount the LA Times USC poll, frankly, are the anti-Trump establishment media and the people that are involved or aligned with the Clinton campaign. It's a very reliable poll. Again, it was the third most accurate, according to Nate Silver, in the 2012 election. Same methodology. In fact, that poll showed Barack Obama performing better than any other poll leading up to that election. Every other poll understated Obama, so it's hardly a Republican slanted poll. The point is, if you look at the Fox News poll that you mentioned, if you look at the McClatchy poll that just came out, a majority of voters, 50% or more, think that Hillary Clinton engaged in criminal conduct. 80% of McClatchy said she did something wrong. Her first act, if she were elected, God forbid, would have to be to pardon herself.
Wow.
Excuse me. Let me actually get a word in edgewise here.
Go ahead, Richard.
And as regards this whole notion that Hillary's going to be somehow under investigation, just let me tick off, maybe for the first
time. She already is under investigation.
Hold on a second.
She's already under investigation. We know that. Let's not, pick hairs here.
Here's what we're going to, if Donald Trump wins, here's the list of things he's going to face on day one. The rape charge from the 13-year-old, Trump University fraud.
She's dropped that charge, by the way, the 13-year-old.
Immigration fraud, excuse me. Melania's immigration fraud. We know the Trump Foundation engaged in fraud. They gave a contribution to the Attorney General of Florida.
Richard, my friend, Richard, come on. She's under criminal FBI investigation. Let's at least state facts.
No,
what do you
she's
mean,
not.
no?
Maria, no. Well, that's exactly, and you don't know. People say that
I do know because Jim Comey came out last Friday and he told the world he's
say,
reopening the investigation into her server
we know
and
that
her
there's a
email,
separate
Richard. We all
investigation.
know this.
There's a separate investigation for the Clinton Foundation.
No,
the criminal
actually,
enterprise masquerading as a foundation.
Excuse me. So this goes to my point about your viewers being discerning versus spin. What we have is, yes, some FBI agents who are out to get Hillary, who are feeding certain news sources that there's an investigation. I hope. Look,
so I
hope this contest comes down to a difference between the Trump Foundation, which bought portraits of himself, a Tim Tebow signed helmet, and donated to his kid's private school.
That's not a criminal investigation, Richard.
No.
That's
but
not
a
an
donation,
FBI criminal investigation.
We know that he donated. Excuse me, Lee. I didn't interrupt you, Lee. Lee. I didn't interrupt you once.
You're going longer than I went to.
The fact of the matter is, we know there's a New York State criminal investigation of the Trump Foundation. Why?
No criminal.
There's not. We don't know that. We don't know that. We do know what Jim Comey told us.
That's completely specious. There is no criminal investigation.
We know what Jim Comey said. And he did say that he's reopening the investigation. And that has, in fact, impacted the polls.
There's no question that it's impacted the polls. And what is interesting is it's not only given increase to Donald Trump. Hillary Clinton's lost 3 and 4 points in the polls. It's not even that she said Sable and Trump's gained. She's lost ground for the first time in a long time, and we need to look at that. You can't ignore it.
Now, to be fair, Dagan, there are there's debates about Trump's foundation, about this story that now the 13-year-old has dropped, by the way. But we're not talking about the same severity. I mean, for some reason, the public's focused on the FBI and Clinton.
And the reason that the public in particular is focused on the Clinton Foundation and the FBI, this has been going on more than a year based on Fox News reporting. Looking into the Clinton Foundation is because it is the issue of, did she abuse her office?
Right.
What was she doing when she was to enrich herself, both in power and purse, when she was the Secretary of State? That's a question. It's not a statement, but it's surely a concern for many Americans. And I can point to the Fox News poll because they actually asked about to independents after hearing about the new FBI review. Are you less likely to vote for Hillary Clinton? And it was among independents, less likely was 21%.
Yeah, there you go.
And so that was up. That was among independents. Of course, it's a sliver of Democrats. It's 5%.
And you know, Richard, that 13-year-old that you're referring to has dropped that lawsuit. What goes on when you think someone is going to bring a lawsuit and then they drop the lawsuit?
This is all about.
Here's what I think we're going to get. That question was directed to me, Lee. Lee, here's what I predict. Donald Trump will face Bill Cosby-like sort of serial...
What will Hillary face? What will Hillary face, Richard?
Because he admitted to it.
What will Hillary face, since we know that this is real, the FBI investigation?
Maria,
what is she going to face?
What we know about the Clintons is that the Clintons got as rich as Mitt Romney in half the time or less. For what? For doing what?
It's not a crime to get rich, but it is a crime to use the office.
They are as rich as Mitt Romney, and yet they're not getting any of the criticism. At least that man built a business. They didn't hit the Powerball. They didn't do an internet IPO.
Yeah.
They suddenly became as rich as Mitt Romney in just a few years.
Yeah, we know the players' names.
I mean, Richard, I don't understand how we can go around the circles when we know Doug Bann sent out a memo detailing out the pay-to-play with Bill Clinton, Inc. And all of a sudden, we're starting to see that the public is getting sick and tired of Hillary Clinton getting donations from foreign governments that are human rights abusers who are against women, who are against gays, and that's the issue that's tricking up in the polls, and we're seeing it time and time again.
Yeah, we definitely are seeing it. Come on, Richard.
Here's what's
how do you justify it?
Textbook pay-to-play. Textbook pay-to-play is Trump sending a $25,000 contribution to the AG of Florida, who then proceeded to drop her investigation of the fraud of Trump University.
Did this in political
You're not addressing how you justify what Hillary Clinton did. It's not enough to just blame, shift it over to Donald Trump.
No.
How do you justify what Hillary Clinton did?
I'll tell you exactly. Here's the answer. Hillary Clinton has never been cited for a single decision that she made that was influenced by any donor. The fact of the matter is the Clinton Foundation.
Uranium one.
No. The fact of the matter is
Richard, we have an
record is
active
clear.
FBI investigation on that very matter. We don't know what all they've uncovered, but it's obviously important.
how'd all
The
those
Justice Department tried to shut it down repeatedly, and they were
How'd all
called
those
out on
emails,
that.
those 650,000 emails, land up on Anthony Weiner's laptop, Richard? Wow.
A pervert walking
Anthony
around with a
Weiner's using the
laptop with
same
America's
laptop
secrets
to
on it.
text a
Let's talk about that.
15-year-old
Hey.
as the same laptop as we got all our national
Right.
security secrets.
And
Exactly.
Yeah,
did he
that's
forward
like, wow.
any secrets to any of the
Right.
women he was
So-
involved with? Did he forward
so
any
Lee
of our
just-
secrets to them?
Lee just referenced what a pervert Anthony Weiner is. It's interesting, isn't it, that we have an criminal investigation of somebody who basically got into the space virtually of underage girls, whereas Donald Trump bragged about walking in on naked underage girls at the Miss Teen America. He brags about grabbing strangers by the crotch, and somehow Anthony Weiner's the
That's
pervert.
not going to
Excuse
hold
me.
up
And
in
by
a
the way,
court
he
that's
never did
investigating
that.
Hillary Clinton.
Trump
You
said
can't
it.
replace one for the other.
Lee Spieckerman, Richard
Richard
Goodstein, great
epitomizes-
conversation. I
Trump
think we
said
got
it.
a
We heard
lot
it.
of good stuff on the table
What
there.
we're
Let our
seeing
viewers
is
decide.
desperation.
Gentlemen,
They're
thank
out of
you.
ammunition.
We appreciate it.